Happy Friday, happy Friday, happy Friday, guys. Guys, please make sure when you walk in to hit that like button. If you have not done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you have not done so already, please make sure you hit that notification bell on the right hand side. Remember, we do go live each and every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 o'clock Eastern time. Thank you for tuning in to Chaos Culture Radio. Prince Hakeem and Jordan, what's popping like? What is cracking?
What's good? We here, not there.
What's good? What's good, y'all? We here another Friday evening, Friday afternoon over here in the California. That means the weekend's coming by. So we're gonna have some fun this weekend. Let's go. Let's get it.
Go ahead, Jordan. Do your thing. Hey, Just Jay, what's happening?
Just said what's going on. Oh, I saw you last night on LTT TV when I was watching him last night. He went all night. So I saw you just say just to shout you out on there. So what's going on, people? What's going on, people? Glad y'all coming in the chat. We appreciate you guys. You watch always. Now this topic right here, this is gonna be something. I want to talk about it on Wednesday, but we got God's Forever, and she blessed her presence by being talk what she want to talk about, and she did her thing. We appreciate you. Now this topic right here, I've been thinking about it. It's been trending for the last couple of days, and we're gonna talk about it. We're definitely gonna talk about it. So the topic is single mother by choice. So as you know, we did a live stream a couple months ago with Ebony K. Williams. When she was on, talk about her dating and everything, and how she won't date she wouldn't date a bus driver unless she owns the bus and everything. That caused controversy. That trended, and we talked about it. Now she's trending for something else. Now she's talking about black women now has the choice of being a single mother. And what I mean by that is, she believes that black women are tired to being like to say, or as she would say, begging to be to be in a man's arms. And now in 2030, 2023, 2023, we should now with we can get the sperm from the hospital and and impregnate us. She just probably saying like, hey, black women, if we can't get the blend that the black man that we want, then let's just start having be having choice of seeking motherhood, going to these sperm banks and get the black sperm and and have a child and just being a single mother. To me, that's low. That's low. But that's what Eddie B.K. Williams was saying, and that trend and everything. Other people, content creators, will talk about it. But and so since they're talking about it, we're gonna talk about today on the show because this is a subject right here that's to me is mind blowing. But we're gonna talk about it. So Hakeem, play the video of what Eddie B.K. Williams she was talking about. After that, we're gonna chop it up. Go ahead.
And circumstances currently afford us. And that means that single motherhood by choice is going to be an option that more and more black women consider and even exercise. So anybody that's in their feelings about that can go ahead and start to process right now. Because black women that have the privilege to embark upon this expensive and oftentimes lengthy process will increasingly decide to forego marriages and partnerships that do not serve us and that are not in our best interests. And now that bypassing those insufficient relationships does not have to come at the expense of motherhood, well, frankly, it's a whole new world. A world in which black women are no longer subject to the desperation of being chose, because now we get to do the choosing. And as we choose, we do have to contend with the reality of a dismally small supply of black sperm. Because most black women on this journey, we want to create children that look like us and that look like our families, and that means we want black sperm. And as we heard from Reese Brooks, it's the definition of slim pickings, and sometimes that means compromising on this aspect of your journey. Now, I am extremely fortunate that I was able to secure 2 vials of black sperm from California Cryobank when I embarked on this part of my journey last fall. But I do know that I am an outlier. So I've got 2 concrete tips for single black women who think this may be an option, either now or maybe later. Number one, please check out Reproductive Village. It's a new black-owned cryobank, and it's designed to help with this shortage of black sperm. It's set to open its doors in D.C. later this year, and it will also have drop-off locations in Atlanta and Houston, Texas. And number two, be proactive. I say go ahead and start looking right now for desirable black sperm. You register with all 4 of the big cryobanks, and this includes California Cryobank, which I use.
Wow, wow, wow. That's the and she serious too. She must be the queen of king or queen of the black feminism. Because what she just said right now, that's to me, that's low. But it's gonna be a wonderful conversation we're gonna have today. So I'm gonna pass it to you guys. I'm gonna pass it to you, Ronnie. What you think about this take? What she talked about being for black women, single motherhood by choice.
Now, I actually seen the whole take. Pretty much what she's stating is that because now we live in the day and age where women pretty much have the choice to do pretty much whatever they want. So now they have the choice to be single mother if they choose to do so. By meaning that now they could go to the sperm bank, get a black sperm, and have black babies. So we no longer need a man to be present anymore. So, mind you, this is the same woman who advocated why she didn't want to date a bus driver. Keep that in mind. And then she said she needs some black sperm. I got some black sperm for you. So if you come to my way, I'm ready to go. Hey, 90s already know. 90s with me. We got some black sperm ready for you. So we down and out. And hey, this is the new generation of women. And now, a lot of women was pretty much upset about the comments she made. Because, sometimes she do stuff just to get that viral moment. And this is her viral moment once again. And I just want to know y'all guys' take on that before I continue my take on it. But go ahead, Hakeem.
Thank you so much. I want to give a shout out to Scott Bryant, Sherry Bryant, Sherry and Scott. Shout out to Are You Amused? Shout out to Nightish. Shout out to Lotus. Shout outs to the whole gang. This is a tough topic. I wanted to put the ski mask on because I'm even scared to even talk about it.
I thought you were gonna put a ski mask on, Hakeem, because I thought you was about to release.
I was about to. So
Unleash.
The whole term single mother is already a negative connotation, and it's associated with black women, no other race in America. So for a woman like her to even talk about wanting black sperm, I think is disrespectful, disingenuous, and it's offensive to black women who want to be wives and who some did not even choose to be mothers. They were so happen to get in this situation. Now, clear me. I want you to say this. I'm going to try to wrap this up. I'm not saying that there's women who did not have a baby. I need whatever you're taking. Yeah, I'm Jamaican and Haitian at the same time. But I want you to preference this and say this. There's women who make choices on who they allow to conceive with at times. Some don't. So for her to say this and not saying the opposite of, hey, there's other men you can get if you don't get the type of men, because we all know, statistically as proven, having a family overwhelmingly works better than being by yourself. Go ahead.
Good take on that, Hakeem. Good take. Miss Ebony K. Williams. Miss Ebony K. Williams. You did it again. We'll talk about you again. You talk about, you want the black sperm, and you're looking for the black sperm. The Do I want to be petty? I'm gonna be petty. I'm gonna be petty. I'm really not petty, but I'm gonna be petty. So what happened to your ex fiance who was a white man? What happened to that? Why you jumping from white? So your past for the white people now to black sperm. What's going on right there? I mean, I'm confused because you're talking about black men are not this. They're they're not leaders. They didn't want to do all this. To me, this bashing the black man, that's just what she's doing. But you advocate for our sperm. You advocate for the sperm.
Mm-hmm.
I do. To me, that boggles my mind. That really boggles my mind because growing up in a single mother household, and my mother did a phenomenal job for me and my brother. You know,
100%.
it was still tough for my mom. It was still tough. I didn't see the toughness till I remember we had a conversation one time, and she just gonna start crying because there was something that was it was me not doing something, and I saw her cry. And once I saw her cry, this was I was maybe a young teenager. When I first saw my mom cry, I just see it's like, hey, my mom's not big and tough and everything. She is a woman, and she's doing the best she can. And when I saw that, and that just changed my mind about how not just what my mom is doing and seeing it, what other single mothers are doing, black mothers are doing, in my just in my city, in my community and everything, and how hard it is and everything. And now seeing here it's in 2023, and just to hear and say, hey, let's keep pushing this, um motherhood, being single motherhood, to me that's just very, very distasteful for the black woman. That's very distasteful to say something to a black woman, because our black queens, they're more than that. They're the most beautiful women on earth. And to say something like that, to for every K one say something like that, that's to me just like you're you're shitting on black women in a way of saying black women are single motherhood. As we all know, as a two-parent household, two-parent household it works better, and you know and it'll make your kids better people and lives and everything. And it's true, they try to push this narrative, which she pushed it and say black women should be single mother choice, which I don't hear from any other race. No, any other race says that. But you look at the black women and say, hey, if black women have been doing this for 40s or 50 years, why not continue to progress and not date or get married to or be in a long-term relationship with a black man? We'll just go take your sperm, which then you look at stats, black sperms are the lowest of any other race. So for me, it's like, you tell these black women, we need to scavenge for these black sperms, or to be a mother. You're not gonna have sex with these black men. We're gonna scavenge, get the sperm from the sperm bank. We're just gonna do it like that. To me, that's just ultra low for any woman to do that. Unless you're going to a veto, or unless you're with a partner, and partner can create sperm, something like that, and then you have a conversation if you're married in a relationship. I get all that, but just to push that narrative to say, hey, black women, let's just start going to the sperm because we don't need black men. To me, that's just crazy to me. That's crazy.
No, but remember, you got to keep in mind, we live in a society today where women today are blaming men for a lot of things, and not only that, I recently read an article where they said how black women don't benefit from marriage. So if Ebony K Williams is reading the same article I read, pretty much he's pretty much saying the same thing. Like, hey, black women don't really benefit from marriage. Black women don't really benefit from having black men in their life. So why not just have a kid and be a single parent, and that's it, and get the quote unquote benefit of the government? Because remember, at the end of the day, when you see a single parent, what, especially a single mother, what do they get out of it? They get a Section 8, they get child support, they get food stamp. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. So it's like, okay, you want to have kids without a man, but then okay, when you have these kids, mind you, now the kid's not gonna know who the father is, because remember, you go to a sperm bank. When you're in a sperm bank, you don't, pretty much it could be anybody. Anybody could be the donor. So that's one. Two, when the child get up of age, he gonna be like, "Hey, what happened to my father? Oh, well, I went to a sperm bank and I just wanted to have you. That's what I. That was just my ultimate goal. So there is no connection there. So that would say it's just a. That was how I understand. I understand why she did the tape. It's pretty much they say she was promoting a sperm bank somewhere where she stayed. So that's probably why she did the tape. However, it's just a bad look on black women overall. Go ahead, Kim.
Before you go out, King, but that, but whoever wrote that article, they were so wrong with that because I'm gonna say it like this: when you're a kid and when you grow up, especially when you get in your 20s and 25s and 20s, you want to know your heritage from your father's heritage. You want to know where you come from. You definitely want to know, like I said, your father, your great grandparents, if you have any brothers or sisters or nephews, because I think like for me, like I said, I ain't met my father till I was, in my teens, but I do after that, I wanted to know, my other side of the family and also the heritage and the history of my family. I would say the same thing with my wife, because her mother passed, when she was when she was in her early age, and then the thing about that is, well, I'm gonna say this: but the thing is, she didn't really contact to her sisters and her brothers until Facebook it came out and everything to contact. And what I mean by saying that is you want to know your culture and your history for your mothers and fathers, but really to cut that off from the father, and you growing up and you don't know your history from your father, and children really want to know their history. They want to know they have family. They want to know they have other cousins. They want to know that black, white, whatever, and really try to really cut that out. To me, that's crazy. Go ahead, Akeem.
Brothers, y'all got all great takes. For y'all, a lot of y'all who don't know this, I'm a product of a two-parent household. My dad came here on a boat, and my mother was a single mom of two. So I know how imperative it is to have two people in the household. His upbringing and tutelage is the reason why I've never had an issue dating women with kids, volunteering at the Special Olympics, giving my time out at Optimus Football, Gwen Cherry, Moore Park. Do I need to keep going? I've been a father to a lot of young dudes out here. So when Ebony K. Williams would say something like that and say that they make it seem like it is impossible to find a mate is disrespectful. It's harmful. It's setting us back 20 years. We already are dealing with enough garbage that is being put on the internet where these young boys are literally killing themselves because we're promoting that you can do this shit on your own. You goddamn silly. You out your rabbit ass mind. Fuck is you talking about? Go talk to Joe that's at the corner store or whoever, or John that's the janitor. If you can't get a nigga that's 100,000, judge a nigga by his character. Not to go, not to go, not to go. Oh, I'm your little brother, King from most definitely. So not to go tell women to go to go get sperm. We have enough dealing with the negative image that a black single mother. First off, let's put this in point. There's a difference between the black manosphere and the white manosphere. Sometimes them things intercross, but when a lot of these guys make these content about single mother, they're talking about black women overwhelmingly. They're talking about how it's not the thing to do, how it's bad. And you know what I mean? These kids are out here in these communities and nobody say, hey, why do I even need to care? It's not my fault you fucked a scram. But I'm not telling people to go date single mothers. That's my that's everybody has their own preference. But oh, no cursing or the oh, my bad. Sky, I am from Liberty City, so I am a little bit rough around the edges. My apologies, brother. Go ahead. Go ahead. Hey,
No,
no Chris,
no,
no Chris.
nobody true in the statement you made, but in the aspect of Just Jay, yeah, she was pretty much advertising for a sperm bank. If you watch the whole contest, she talks about it. She's talking about if you want to go get, you pretty much want to be a donor, or you want to donate your sperm. She talking about black men, the sperm bank. There's where you go and donate your sperm, because right now black men do not do enough donating sperm in America. It's mostly white men, Asian men, and other races of men that does it, except black men. So they were trying to pretty much promote it. Pretty much. Go ahead, King.
Listen, let's not forget. You know who had that issue? The Brat and Big Booty Judy.
Correct.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yep.
Yep.
Go ahead, Joy.
Yeah, that's true. They definitely had a problem with that. But the thing is, you tell a black man you donate more sperm, but we're not doing that. We're not think we don't that wouldn't even cross our minds. Do you call it did not cross my mind. I don't see this very little black man who a few black men that say, hey, maybe I should do this and everything, donate my sperm. I'll get some money on that. Like, no, I don't know no black man who just said, hey, I'm just going to donate my sperm to have kids. They did not do that. They really have, we rather have sex with a woman and, do it the regular way. Go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
But let's talk about this from a serious perspective. When you go to these cryogenic camps, they give you a catalog. The guys who are donating sperm, these are not regular Joe Blows. These are guys who are lawyers, doctors, working Fortune 500 companies. Most black women if they want to a la carte their sperm, they want to do that's the best of the best. So if, quote unquote, most men who are successful are not thinking about giving out their reproductive thing when they could say, I could just give it to a black woman here. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Other races might look at it differently. We come at it from a different perspective. But then on top of that, do you want Tyrone, who fresh out of prison, to go donate some sperm? Is that who you want?
Hey, some women don't mind doing that. That's a good question, but I feel like if that's the case, if that's Ebony K. Winner, she might not mind.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I think she gonna be the next woman to get pregnant by a sperm donor.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Look what it would Are You Amused say, I looked in the catalog in my early 30s. It's true.
Oh really? Oh wow.
Yeah, Just Jay.
Catalog?
No, there's a catalog. They tell you the height, weight, the education of the person, where they from, their skin complexion, what they did, if they have any health. Like it's a whole process with this. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, so it's very imperative. You know what I mean? That's because y'all know nobody wants banded babies.
Okay, thank you for that. That sounds like Sugar Bomb.
That's yeah. So, but it's a true statement. So the thing about it is, I want to say this, and I want ladies to see if I'm wrong with saying this. And I'm gonna try to be very careful the way I speak. If you want a certain type of man, if you want to have certain type of kids, I know nobody's telling you to lower your expectations. You feel me? But if the possibility of having a children, because are you going to be so hyper focused on that you miss your opportunity, or you want to stick to your expectation? Because let's be real about it, fellas. A lot of these girls who they're talking about have some guy that's orbiting them around them. They're just not 100% what the women want.
No, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I think women should lower their expectation. That's the issue they're having.
I didn't say it.
That's what the you
He
ain't
was
say it, but I'm gonna say it.
Hakeem, you was
But I'm
trying
gonna
to
say
watch
it.
your words, but he said
I'm gonna say
it.
it. No, because this is why. Because you have a lot of women out here with degrees. I'm not gonna lie, smart women, beautiful, especially black women, beautiful black women with degrees, very well educated, but they can't get a man because their expectations too high. Lower it. When I mean lower it, I mean say okay, it's okay to date the bus driver. It's okay to date the guy that's working at the grocery store. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Cause that guy's gonna least he's gonna be the man for you. He's gonna be the man to open up the corridor to make sure the dishes is done or do like small little things that women always say they want the man to do. I'm just keeping it real. Go ahead.
I would say this, Ronnie. It's like, especially in 2023, these women out here, they very, very materialistic. You know, they want a good house, they want a nice car, they know they want it all. And the thing is like, you know, it's a fairy tale. It's like a Disney movie. You know, they want the, you know, happily ever after. And Disney, you know, and in real life, you know, Disney don't work like that. That's not true. You know, and I'm just sorry to say to tell you guys, like I said, that Disney fantasy is not true. You know, when you in a relationship, in a marriage, you know, you got it's you got to work. You know, you got to work every day. You know, community, you know, it's you know, being in a marriage is like, you know, it's like I say, it'll be hard work at the beginning, but once you guys know each other, communications, and you know, it gets easier and easier. You know, the longer the relationship you went. And to me, you know, I think a lot of, you know, men and women, you know, they definitely don't know what to do with in a relationship or really, you know, put in the work to make the relationship work. Just really put in the work. That's just to say, hey, you know, this not gonna work out, then I can do battle by myself, you know. Black men ain't this, you know, well, I was gonna say niggas ain't shit, you know. And just by saying that, it's just by saying that, you know, a lot of women, they just feel like they can just be on their own, be independent, do what they self, and what every case, what Ebony K. Women is saying, you know, since a lot of some of these women are doing saying stuff like that, thinking like that, it's like if that's the case, you know, if I got sick, you know, women there, you know, they got their masters or doctor's degrees, who's been in their career for 10, 15, 20 plus years, and they can't find a man that they think there's, you know, that's value to them. You know, she just thinks like, hey, that's okay. We just get the sperm, just do it ourselves. You know, we could hold our own. If we're doing this for a long time, we can still do that for a long time. But the thing is, that's to me, that's not the case. And but Ronnie said, but Ronnie did say lower your standards, and and to me, we
Yes.
lower your standard is lower your for men as finances. You gotta lower that and lower that um having the very nice fancy
Prime
cars, the
example, Jordan,
luxury
check me out.
cars. Go ahead.
But Jordan, take me out. Check me out here. You don't notice that when a woman gets older, her standards goes down. You ever seen a woman that's 50 years old? She would date a man that's like 40 or like 60 that don't really have much. But she was like, I just want the man to be there. And I had a conversation with a friend of mine about that. I'm like, look, when women get of age, they start to twicker certain things and say, okay, certain things that they normally would go for, they normally delete that thing. But like, you know what? I don't care. The man he could come home late, as long as he's there. And I can't. He's a testimony of that. He can tell you. We hear stories that all the time. Go ahead,
Yep.
King.
No, you're 100% right. Um, I have a person I've worked in certain fields and made more money than a lot of women I've talked to. I've never judged them from that. I was in a long-term relationship with somebody that worked at Checkers.
You see?
Listen, overnight. And you know what the consensus about people who work at Checkers is like drug addicts. You know that, right?
I did not know that.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah, yeah.
That's new. That's new to me.
Yeah, yeah. There's a hierarchy. There's a hierarchy when you work in fast food, but I'm not like that. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean. Everybody is different. You know what I mean? 'Cause there's even a joke that people say that you don't have rich black men walking around here marrying poor black women.
True.
You know what I mean? You don't have those type of things. But then regular guys would date women of honorable means. But I do want to highlight something that Natasha Vincent, you come swinging sometimes, which I think we need to really take this into an account. There was another thing that Lotus said I want that coincides with this. It says for couples who are trying to conceive and having infertility issues, I believe that a good option is to seek infertility treatment. However, I don't think you should become a single mother by choice. Now, Natasha said you cannot manufacture kids like an assembly line. We're getting too close to eugenics, which is a weird conversation with all the evil history for Black people. I want y'all to think about that. You know that boy Adolf. We ain't gonna finish his last name. You know he was heavy on eugenics. You know what I'm trying to say? And
He was.
he was
He
heavy.
was.
He was
I just
heavy
thought
on
about
you.
that now. Yes,
He was heavy on eugenics. He was heavy on breeding the blue eye, blonde, white, and I love the world the way it is. I love everything being mixed and colored. I tend to try to live outside of certain things, but you know, you get a reality check by other people. I grew up in another, my parents are from another country.
Facts. Shout
You
out to
know what I mean?
Black Hawk. Hey, shout out to Gore, man.
Shout outs to Gore, my brother from another mother. So there's so many layers to this conversation, but I want this conversation negatively affects Black women as a whole, but it's targeted to Black American women in here in America.
Okay, this is a question for you guys. Do you think about what she made, that statement she made, single motherhood by choice, do you think it's gonna better or do harm to the Black community? Go ahead.
For me, it's definitely gonna be bad because if you don't have a father in the household, you're gonna make emotional men, and when you have emotional men in the hood, it's not good. Either some likely they're going to be in fights, they're not going to graduate, or they're going to be in jail, or they might get deleted in these streets. Go ahead. Yeah, that's how I feel about that.
Listen, it I've seen the negative effects of single motherhood where I myself have to forcefully involve myself in kids' lives that had nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? Kids who are going down the wrong path, and I'll just so bad just to hang around their house, be like, "Hey, what's up, man? You good? Come hop in the whip with me. I'll take you around the corner and take you to the store and stuff like that." Because you want to know why? I have survival's guilt. My daddy beat my ass every day I went to school, and beat my ass in front of all my friends. Most people did not laugh about that. Some did, but the niggas said, at least you got a daddy. My daddy had his foot on my neck, which subsequently made me make certain decisions in life and how I approach things. If we do not have men to stand up, this is the only part of what Dr. Umar Johnson said that I agree with him 100%. A lot of people don't have to. I'm not saying this. If we do not stand up and take charge of what's going on in our community, we're going to have an issue.
The only good I see out of it, Hakeem, it would kind of increase our population wise because our
Yeah.
population have decreased about, because we right now what we at, like 12%. These women get more and more pregnant, then it's going to increase what by like 14. That's the only thing I can see out of it. But I think it won't be good for the next generation because then a lot of kids ain't gonna really know who their father is unless they do, all of them do DNA tests. And not only that, but not only that, I want to ask you guys too a question: can a woman still on file for child support?
If you in Michigan, yo.
Really?
if you in Michigan, yeah. If they could find a father in the state in Michigan, if you could find a sperm and to the father, a woman can do that in Michigan. It's easy in Michigan. I don't know about other states, but in Michigan, you can do that.
Yeah, but a lot of these cryo places, the guy's identity is healed. You sign a waiver. There's certain red tape about, but I did hear about that. I did hear about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the thing is, this pushing this black motherhood it's been going on for a long time. And how can I send you a video that I want you guys to play? This was an interview of black women in 1986 about single black mothers' opinions on parenthood and spouse experiences. So I want Hakeem to play this and see how far this goes. Even though this goes to in the 70s, but here's a little.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna play with you guys.
Yo! Oh, I seen this one. Yeah, I don't even know if they ready for this one.
Please play it.
Play it.
Oh my God, bro! Damn.
And this was in 1986, y'all. This was somebody was in this was a news person. I his name was interviewing a couple of black women about the experience of
yeah. Let me read. If a single parent figure out how to migrate, the harm, the great. However, there's little room to debate that kids thrive in environment with two emotionally stable parents. Facts. What we about to play right now, I watched the whole thing. It's not that it's not. Oh my God. Hold on.
Raise your hand if you're married. None of you are married. Raise your hand if you would like to be married to your baby's father. One. The rest of you who don't plan to get married, why don't you plan to get married? I'd like to know that.
You already have your child to think about, and then a whole family to care for. You know, it's a lot of responsibility, and then you don't want the commitments.
I wouldn't want no man holding me down because I think I can make it as a single parent.
But don't you think you might need help in raising that baby from a man?
Not really. I didn't have a father. My father wasn't in the home, so you know it really male figures are not substantially important in the family.
And what you got right there, y'all, that's matriarchy talk right there.
Wow,
that's
I didn't
matriarchy
see
talk.
that.
And the thing is that if the women that's like that, it passed on to generation to generation to generation to generation. As we in 2023, as you know, black women are continue pushing this narrative. It's like we don't need black men. As Abby K. Williams said, we just gonna get the sperm and just do right that, since black women have been doing it for 50, 60 years.
Wow, that's crazy. That was in the 80s, bro. Wow.
And that was based out of Newark, New Jersey.
See, everybody I know everybody speechless. Even I'm speechless. I didn't see that one. I thought, I was laughing because I was thinking about the guy one. It was a guy there. It was a group of them and a guy.
Yeah, there was a group of guy one.
That's what I thought in my mind. I didn't see this one. That's the first.
It's damaging though. It's tough to watch.
But that's but Jordan kind of proved my point when I said earlier that there was a study said that how black women say they don't benefit from marriage. Look, that was been going on since the 80s. Look, little girls at the time that have kids said the same thing. Like, look, we don't want the father to be there. We just want to do our own thing, go our own way. So it seems like the women are going mid-towel.
Yeah, but the women tremendously lose if they don't have a husband. You feel me?
But some of this, but the thing is, what their husband is, Hakeem? If you can't get help with the man, the government, Section 8, food stamps. There you go. Right there, you go.
Sad.
Yeah, those babies would be in their 30s now. Would be interesting to hear what they thought of their childhood.
Just Jay said, why they going mid-towel? Well, they're going W out, whatever for the women version. I don't know. No, because they're going their own way, pretty much. But in the woman's version, yeah, there you go, Kenny. I don't know how to pronounce it on the woman's term, but yeah,
women's going their own way. People are not thriving from government assistance. That is facts. There's a salary cap when you're on government assistance.
Yes, it is. Correct.
There's a salary cap, and this is why we need to be careful how we approach these things and what we're promoting and telling people about their stuff. There's no way you win it. You're better off having your mama and daddy living in a 1-bedroom apartment, you sleeping in the middle of them, and y'all just making it by. I tell you, I know people who raise kids like that. These are some of the most happiest kids I've ever seen, compared to somebody who lives in a big house and it's just you and your mama. And I'm not saying that, let's preface this, I'm not saying that you don't have these good situations turned out, but it could be better. You feel me?
Yeah, but that team, it's like it's a very it's, it's a very slim chance. But you live in Section 8 everything, because when a woman gets some money from the government, she gets comfortable. Even though you gotta say it's a salary cap, they just get comfortable because they get money from the government. And I just said it's like the government's like their husband, because the government's giving money. Like the husband should be in the house, who should be supporting the money to the family, to the wife and the kids and everything. And they just see that, like I said, the government as a husband, as just give me money and I'm comfortable and I don't need a man.
You want to know what's the? Go ahead, Ron. I didn't know if I was cutting in front of you. Go ahead.
No, you good. You good. Go ahead.
You want to know what's imperative about this whole situation? Being able on both ends, man or woman, finding somebody who's willing to stay with you and wanting to go through the mud, no matter what level you're at in your life. That's a big thing too. You know what I mean? I have a friend of mine who's been with his girl. I think they going on 15 years now. They're both from the projects. You feel me? He's a convicted felon. She's a convicted felon. And the dichotomy of their situation was kind of unique. They both had kids from separate people and they had kids together. But the difference is with this, he chose to stay with her. He chose to help raise her kids. They had kids together. They are in a house right now. And this is why I say that you can make your life the way you want it. It's about your choices. You feel me? And I always said that, you know what I mean, it's about the choices that you make, but not to say that being a single mother by choice, that's not something that to even be promoted. You know what I mean? I had a phenomenal
Sugar Bone have a ski mask.
Yeah. Whoa. Who over here? Hey, Sugar, when you stop being scary, you can start showing your real face. I had a phenomenal childhood. Once my father went away, if we can be honest, my mom educated and was very able to provide a lavish life for me and my brother. You know what I mean? You're an exception. You're an exception. And it says that's love at Prince Hakeem, rebalancing one another. What a great way to put it. Yes. When you make a decision to pick the man that's willing to stay with you and to willing to work these things out, there's phenomenal things you can do even with a simpleton. And I'm not meaning to be disrespectful. I'm meaning that it's hard to even get somebody who has millions of dollars to stay and help raise kids with you. There's women now who have babies from millionaires who never even spent a day in these kids' lives. We have countless subjects, and you have situations where you get a guy you met at the corner store, he's been at your hip the whole day. It's all about the character of a person.
Read Black Hawk comment. Very powerful. I was raised by a single black mother. Mm-hmm. It made me a strong black man that I am today.
And we would not disagree. We have our brother right here, who's look. You wouldn't even could tell if he was raised by a single mother. Very mild mannered. You know what I mean?
My brother too.
Yeah, we have exceptions to the rules. I'm not saying that. Kevin Durant, LeBron James, we can keep going. LeBron been with his wife since high school. We have exceptions. But we're trying to say that at this level of the game, everybody needs to get married. Every kid needs a father. Yes. Don't matter. Every kid needs a father. If that's a substitute father or we put a nigga in there. You feel me? If you a stepdaddy or a biological or something, everybody needs a father. We have to look at it from that point of view. You know what I'm saying? I was raised by a single mother, and it made me a strong black man that I am today. My mother had to be strong because my father left and she didn't. I can't blame her for what he didn't do. 100% Black Hawk. Black Hawk, that statement would make anybody cry. I'm touching because you want to know why I didn't go through know what people going through, and this is why I didn't make a decision to make fatherless kids. If I wasn't going to have children, if I didn't marry a person, this is the reason why I'm at my age right now with no kids. I'm over 40. I didn't make irresponsible decisions because I knew as a man, my 20s and my 30s, I would have been a horrible father. Some men are not well enough to speak those things, but we need to have those kind of conversations. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, you right on the money on that.
And
What's it Gore say? Put what Gore say?
what he said? What he
He
say?
said, you can't fool me. Speak softly and carry a big stick. You will go far.
Yeah, yeah. Ronnie lost his signal.
It's it. No, that's cool. That's good. That's all right.
Yeah, so you know what I mean? And I preface this and I say this to the point where, you know what I mean, and it's important. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just hear me out. I really think this is just about people not wanting to have anyone around them that can disagree with them on an adult level. Let's talk about it. Just hear me out. Let's talk about it. Oh my God, bro. And you want to know something? A lot of relationships can end up controlling. Natasha Vincent say rebalancing. We got to balance one another. You got to be able to make compromises. You know what I'm saying? You have to be. Jordan, can you, every kid needs a healthy father. No problem, my brother.
For sure.
She said, just Jay say, I don't trust these MF near minds. The way they speak on children. They speak on children. I don't know what she was talking about that. Don't forget to like the videos. Thank you, Ken dog. I miss you, Ken. I ain't see you in a while.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Ken dog.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
No, I said
Yeah.
the sin over here is too. Yeah, so what K. Williams is doing, I think it's very dangerous. A lot of women do look up and they something all need that's out. So the stuff in, let's see how to be when we older men and see how it's gonna turn out to be.
Oh, are you amused? What you mean stepfathers and all that ish?
And I'm gonna go with what Kevin Salmon was saying. I mean, one of the shows of how some of these black women, they fail the younger generation by giving them bad advice, extremely bad advice, and it keeps pushing to the next generation. And when you keep doing that, you ain't gonna listen to the fathers or to the men, And a lot of women, the thing get this, a lot of women I see, they try to get advice from other women, but they don't get advice from the men. I've never asked for a man for advice, and I see that a lot lately too.
Just hear me. I just asked you a question, Jordan.
She said, Jordan, was your mom the type of person who could take advice? Was she too proud to accept any? No, not at all. My mom, like if she had any advice, she'll go to my granddad, my uncles. She put a lot of men in my life that that kind of mentored me. My mom was never that, because my mom was raised in a two-parent household, my granddad and my grandmother, and at the time, and she know how important it is. A child is needed for a father to be in his life, a son or a daughter. My mom definitely knows the importance of having a father in your life. Period.
No, definitely these are stereotypes, but I want to preface this and say this exactly. That's why she succeed in raising you 100. I want to preface this, and maybe are you amused? Maybe I think you're talking about this because I did say that every kid needs a father. it's imperative. Um, there's a young man who I had the chance of being in his life, and now I see him as an older person. He works at AutoZone. I love the dude. I was around him as young. We used to talk and stuff. And you never know what little things you can do that can affect people. You know what I mean? And the brief little moment I was there, you know what I mean? And then when he see me, he acknowledged me in front of everybody. Oh, this, and mind you, he called me Mr. By my first name. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
that's respectful. That's a
That would say,
respectful
he
young
said,
man.
Mr. You know what I mean? And then, I politely told him, I say, he's my son. I wasn't with his mother. I was around him. And I understand what it is. And I say that, are you amused? I know it's difficult to find men to be trustworthy around kids that are not yours. And you know what I mean? Because we see the news, people are harming people. That's why it's very imperative. You got to be a good judge of character. I would never want a woman to go out there and go get no S. You can find you a good man. It's just that it hurts me to say this. You might not find the man you want at the price point you want. That's really what the question is. That's the question that Ebony K. Williams has been screaming underlyingly. She wants a man at a price point that she's not able to get at this point.
Which is either they're at her tax bracket or higher,
Mm,
and she struggled to find it, and not just in the black community, also in the white community as well.
mm,
So that kind of tells you, well, I'm out. Well, I can't say that, but I was gonna say that would tell you the type of woman she is. But yeah, a lot. Ronnie was saying earlier, you got to lower your standard. When for me, lower your standard is lower, like the from the money wise and the materialistic stuff as well, because a lot of people's not gonna get that luxury lifestyle. A lot of people's not gonna get that luxury lifestyle, especially how the economy's going. A lot of people's not gonna get that luxury lifestyle. So if you can get like find a person who you could corroborate with, and y'all could maybe find a decent house or a decent apartment, and kind of live below your means in a way, it's gonna work out fine, and it'll
Mm-hmm.
work out good.
Big facts. I would say, but I would like to do a part two with this one again, because I know she's gonna come out with another tape, because I know right now she's getting a lot of backlash. And you know how Ebony, every time she get backlash, she come out with another one like, no, I didn't really meant that. Y'all took it the wrong way. I was just talking about, hey, how women have the right to be single mother if they choose to do so. I'm not telling them to be single mothers, but that's not how a lot of people are taking it.
Um, are you amused? I dropped that link. I dropped that link.
Who, to Just Jay?
Yeah, just Jay, because I think she said you dropping that link because um I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Conflating? Conflating? What she
You
said?
dropping the link because you conflating?
Hey Google, define conflating.
Here's the definition of conflate. Combine two or more sets of information, texts, ideas, etc. into one.
He just dropped that link. Yep. I thought you were dropping the link for Sugar guy. I was like, Sugar, Sugar ain't gonna come up here.
Yeah, she's
No,
not
no,
gonna. Yeah,
no,
she's
no,
not
no.
gonna come.
Do that.
Yeah,
Sugar not that gangster enough. I would
nah.
listen. Sugar, I would want her to come. You could even not even show your face. We just want to hear how you sound. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Hey, Barry White, what's
Very
happening, sweetheart?
white. My beautiful queen from out of New York City.
Yes, yes.
What black American woman will live? What black American woman will live below their means? They want the opposite. Woo.
If what the thing is about is like, what about the black woman who lives with who has Section 8 and everything? That's way below your means because
Correct.
you're at the cap. There's a cap in that.
Facts.
Just saying.
Mm.
No, but I'm really just curious about Ebony because I really want to know her response after she get all the backlash and what she gonna say next. Because she always say something like very different for what she always transpired of saying. So that's why I'm just curious. I know we're gonna do a part 2 to it. So
You think she's leaning towards the Cynthia G route?
no,
What about you, Hakeem?
I think so.
who's that?
I don't know. Is that Are You Amused?
Oh no, yeah, that's just Jay.
Just Jay.
Hey, can y'all hear me okay?
Hey,
Yes,
Yeah,
we
your
can. Hey, how you doing?
I'm
He's
doing
that.
okay. I
He's
had to
that.
take care.
your audio is messing up though.
My audio, because you cracking.
I'm cracking.
Hold on, let me see. Let's see if
You
I
probably
can.
got to get off the Wi-Fi.
Is this really just Jake? Because you sound different.
Yeah, that's just Jay.
I don't know. That might be another Just J.
No,
If
that's
I'm
her.
popping off, sound different, but I'm chilling.
You sound very meek.
She's mature now.
I like
That's her.
that. Are you ready to be a Proverbs 31 submissive wife? She didn't even hear me when I said
No, I
that.
think her mic is messing up. You gotta log out and come back in.
On the contrary, but women have a healthy kids in the oldest condition. I never forget the Rwanda woman who gave birth in a tree in the middle of the horrendous flood. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they worked the system. Muhammad,
That's true.
yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, just your mic.
Just Day, log out and log back in. Matter of fact, get off of Wi-Fi, Just Jay. Get off of Wi-Fi. Natasha Vincent, sorry, should have clarified. I'm talking about the suburban couples who live in their houses with midwives versus going to the hospital. Infant death rates are low because of hospitals.
Yeah,
Mic
especially for
drop.
I would say
That was a mic drop.
especially for black women.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially for black women.
That was a mic drop.
Mm-hmm. It
Hello,
was.
waiting for Just Jay to come back. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Just Jay. She sound relaxed.
She sounded very relaxed. That's why I said I didn't know who she was. I thought it was another woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would praise Sugar.
She sound like she came out fresh from vacation.
Basically. Sugar, I'm coming to DC and I'm a live stream on DC in DuPont Circle so you can come out. Because we got it.
Was she in Miami a couple weeks ago?
Nah, she ain't never came to Miami. That's cap.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if she said she did. You know what I mean? My big brother is a dad to me too. No, that's wonderful. The government is the Black American woman's man. Ooh, Muhammad. She rides his you know what and listens to him before us. This started in slavery. Ooh, Muhammad.
Hello?
Hey,
Can y'all hear? Or is it
y'all
still
can hear
messed
you.
up?
No,
Yeah,
you
we hear
still
you.
with me.
You're
It's
You off
good.
good.
of Wi-Fi? Oh, what is God is Forever channel?
Yeah,
I
I'm on
purchased
my
it.
Wi-Fi.
No, get off of Wi-Fi because sometimes that's a mess that mess it up. But look, we don't listen. If it's not messing up, you can just talk. I purchased a book on Wednesday. It arrives today, and I'm planning on reading it. The first chapters on my live later. Oh, I love you, Barry White. Do she go? Do we have Goddess Forever's channel?
That's
Um,
her channel. God is forever. God is forever on YouTube. Yes.
I think she wanted the link. We'll look for the link. Um,
Yeah, I put
uh,
the link in the chat. Hold on.
are you amused? Go ahead, speak. Are you amused?
Yeah, I don't think it's working.
Just Jay. That's why she has to get off of Wi-Fi. Just Jay, just listen to me just once. Are you amused? Hold on.
Is your mic? I don't know if your mic's still working.
I don't know.
Oh, Natasha, she put the link up. It's good. It's good, Ronnie. Yeah, Natasha, she put Garbage Forever's link up.
Hey, Natasha, I, you always you hold us down. You always hold us down, Queen. I love you, Natasha. Thank you so much for being a supportive woman. Lord Jesus, your husband's gonna be lucky. Lord Jesus, he's gonna be lucky. All you women husbands are gonna be lucky to have y'all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I seen it. I seen it, Natasha.
Yeah, I put it in the chat. And the talk to the same thing too. God is forever. YouTube channel.
The show will be over by the time I get on here.
You on here now?
I'm just saying.
No, go ahead. Say
We
what you.
got we got some time. We got to go.
We
We
got
go a
some
little over
time.
time. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I had to switch devices. At any rate, I was trying to express like I said, it's a lot of layers. So I think that in the chat it's gonna be hard to have a level of inflection and context with what I'm saying. First of all, me being a single mother does not mean that I'm against fathers. Fathers are vital. Fathers are very important. I was making YouTube videos over 10 years ago talking about fathers and how they the pillar of the community. Okay. So just Jay been on this already, right? What I'm saying is, I feel like there's a deeper issue when you have women. Okay, we specifically talking about Black American women.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about no other woman that's from somewhere else right now. Just sit
Mm-hmm.
down and just be quiet. What I'm saying is, if you have a group of women that have that sentiment, it speaks to something deeper. And to me that says that there is an issue, right? And it's not about pointing fingers. There is a lack of trust. We already know this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
That there's a undercurrent of always got to do it by myself anyway. Now that doesn't mean that people should go off and have kids without having two parents. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get to the root of why a group of women would have that sentiment. Just like when Jordan played the video from 86 or whatever, they had the same sentiment. So to
Yep.
me, it says a lot. They had that same, you know what I'm saying, energy of always got to do it by myself anyway. And that's not to say that Black men failed. That is just to point out a collective feeling that is going behind a lot of this stuff that's being done. And y'all got to forgive me, my fire alarm did something stupid today. But at any rate, yeah, that was my main thing. Fathers are vital. Fathers are important. Like I told y'all earlier, I in my early 30s, I didn't believe in the whole biological clock thing, but when I hit my early 30s, oh, it went crazy. It went crazy, and I wanted a baby, right? I wasn't in a relationship at the time. It ain't about whether or not my thinking was correct or if I was making proper choices and blah 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 blah. What I'm saying is my need to procreate, right? My need to bring forth something in this world, a child, that need started to supersede quote unquote logical thinking. You understand what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
so yeah, went through the whole catalog, and like he said, yeah, you could check off anything. It'd be telling you if people wear glasses, tell you if they got receding hairlines. I'm talking
Yeah.
about it tell you everything, you know? And so anyway, aside from that, I think that under all the aggressive bravado, you know what I'm saying? To me, it's a lot of hurt that goes along with that. And so I just try to look a little deeper. To me, it just says that black women as a collective feel as if they can't depend on black men. You know what I'm saying? I do also find it cringy that she would objectify, because to me it's this she is objectifying men the same way men objectify women. Like, I would be offended as hell if you telling me, you sitting here talking about black sperm, but you in the same breath kind of telling me I ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? And that, like, how is someone supposed to take that in? You understand what I'm saying? I know you didn't say it. You ain't gotta say it, baby. I was speaking the energy from before. You understand? And so I look at energy, and so for her to come with that type of energy is cringy to me. I don't know how that would encourage black men to be donors if they are trying to get sperm. I
Yeah,
mean, you
it
catch
makes
my
it
bees with
worse.
honey, right? And so I definitely think that that is, I don't know, that's just trash in my opinion. I don't know how you gonna tell somebody they ain't shit, but I need your sperm. Just put it in the cup. Like, that's very offensive. And so yeah, like yeah, that's a whole nother subject with the objectifying and
Uh,
fetishizing and whatever. But anyway, go
I
ahead.
want you to hone in on
Mm-hmm.
the deeper reason why you think this sentiment is, because I think this is a teachable moment, and you know, me, it can only be spoken by a woman. What you think is that deep sentiment that you think you felt, like, or you think it is, or what you probably have heard from other women, or what you think just from a whole perspective.
And so I don't speak for Black American women. I could just give you my perspective.
Mm,
My perspective, my sentiment. Okay, part of this is experience, part of this is personal, part of this is just looking at things historically, right? My mom and dad was together, okay? A lot of people on this internet shit think I ain't never had a daddy. They'll fucking lie. Anybody that know Just Jay offline know I was crazy about my daddy, and I buried him in 2015. You know what I'm saying? But aside from that, and my dad was born in 34, so this is why I'm not used to hoe ass niggas. Cause yeah, I'm just not used to dudes built a certain way like that. But anyway, aside from that, right? The collective, like the narrative for me, right? I've seen black women do stuff by themselves. You know what I'm saying? A lot. And I ain't even necessarily talking about just in my household, because my mom and dad ended up separating when I was a teenager. So we was in the same house. I grew up in the same house until I was a teenager, right? But the narrative is a lot of black women do stuff by themselves all the time. I mean, that ain't nothing that got to be proven. We see it all the time. And to me, any woman you have that have this attitude of I could just do it myself, don't get me wrong, I have control issues as well, but that comes from not being able to trust. As y'all know, women, I don't care what color they are, when a woman feels safe and when a woman trusts a man to follow through and do a thing, there's a certain energy that will come with that, you know? But I just think that it's historical. I mean, we can take it all the way back to slavery. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was something in the chat about we was riding a white man or some stupid shit like that. And this is a part of the narrative that continues to screw things up, right? Because you have black women saying, "Oh, we've been traumatized, we've been beat down," and then it discounts black men's experience, and then you got black men saying, "Oh, well, y'all don't go through the shit we have to go through," and then it seems like they're discounting black women's experience. Ultimately, if we're talking about black Americans, Okay, the whole world has been affected by colonialism. We already know that shit. But when it comes to Black Americans, we all in this shit together. And I think that both sides tend to forget that. Okay. When you got families, okay, being ripped away, and shout out to you people that say get over it. No, I don't fucking get over it because I share the DNA of my ancestors. When you have families that have been ripped apart from one another, you got a man over there helpless as fuck, knowing he can't protect his fucking kids and his wife or the person he's with. You know what I'm saying? And these people were separated to never be seen. They never saw each other again in life. Many of these people never reconnected with their families again. That alone is trauma, right? And so when they say, "Oh, these Black mothers be out here telling their daughters not to trust either," no, okay. Unless some people are just generally off, there are not sensible Black women out here saying, "Oh, don't do this and this what you do." No, what that comes from is them probably having to do things by themselves, and maybe sometimes they consciously or unconsciously projected that onto their children because they didn't want their children to be ass out. You know what I'm saying? So we know the narrative. They tell people, "Oh, put a couple dollars aside because you never know. You never know. You never know." Why? Because there were some women who was left with nothing. And that doesn't mean that it's about fault. I'm just trying to provide some context because, yeah, everybody in this shit together. So yeah, it's not about pointing fingers to me. It just speaks to a deeper problem. But how do you get that point across when everybody's so defensive? You know?
I want to ask you from a personal level.
Sure.
And hey, fellas, go ahead if y'all had any questions to ask her before I ask. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You good? Go ahead.
Oh, what do you think is the reason why? And I want to hear this from you because I like to get down to the surface point where why is it so hard for us to get together from a woman's perspective, or finding a mate to take it to that level to marriage, so we can build the family structure?
In reference to Black Americans, I honestly, and it's not a cop out, I truly feel the majority of it is the trauma and the systematic oppression we have dealt with. When you deal with constant oppression, right? Okay, most people, when they deal with trauma in life, they get knocked down. They able to come up and breathe for air, right? If we're gonna talk about it in this context, if you're talking about 400 years of oppression, we ain't never had a fucking chance to get up and breathe. We never had a chance to come up from up under the water to breathe. So this is why you have all these people saying that we should be able to do this, and because we in America and whatever, we still ain't been able to get up and breathe. You know what I'm saying? Hypothetically speaking. So yeah, I feel like the majority is trauma. I feel like some people call it generational curses or whatever. I feel like those are the things that continue that path. You have some people that want to do better, they don't know how to do better, and
But
some go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, no,
Go
no,
ahead.
no. And I agree with you, but I want you to talk about from a dating point. Like, in the past, have you met men that was ready to get married and build a family? That's the point where I want
Oh,
where
okay. My
yeah, yeah,
apologies.
yeah,
Generally speaking, from
yeah,
Black American men,
yeah.
no.
So why do you think that you have more men who don't want to build families, Black men who don't want to build families or want to take it to that level? Because that's the biggest issue we have right now.
hmm
You
I
know what I
think
mean?
it's because um like generally speaking, the narrative, like there has been this whole issue of broken homes. You know what I'm saying? For decades upon decades. And
Mm.
then some people go back to civil rights and say, "Oh, men was in the house, whatever, whatever." And so there are different things that transpire to continue to break up the homes. But I think that Black Americans just have a culture of uh broken homes.
Because
I truly, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, you're right. I agree with you. I just want to add something in there, and I want you to comment
Mm-hmm.
on this, because the narrative that they're promoting
Mm-hmm.
online, because me and you, we all from the same place, so I
Right.
understand this a little bit deeper more than other people. We all understand this a little bit deeper. They say that women will have a baby from somebody, but they won't they'll have a baby from somebody, but they won't require marriage.
That's absolutely true.
You know what I'm saying? And mind you, this is a comment that they put blanket on black women. They say, hey, you can get her pregnant. Matter of fact, she'll let you hit raw. She won't even ask you to put a condom on. But she ain't gonna mention no marriage until after over time.
Well, I can't say that, but I can relate to yeah, not just following through with things in a chronological way. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I definitely never signed up to be a single mother, you know, but I also didn't require marriage at the time when I got pregnant. You understand what I'm saying? So ain't no sense in me sitting here trying to act like
Ooh,
that. Did we have
Jesus.
plans? Yes, we had fucking plans, but that was not a prerequisite. You understand what I'm saying? And
Wow.
so yes, I definitely encourage people to have that prerequisite, right? So we don't continue these broken homes. I'm not going to sit here and act like I had all the knowledge that I do now back then. You know what I'm saying? And even with my youngest, I could have did some things different. That's life. So I don't sit here and attack people for their choices in that regard. A lot of this
That's
new stuff with this wanting to be single mothers by themselves is fucking weird to me. There is no sensible person that is a single mother that signed up for that shit consciously. You understand what I'm saying? And so yeah, we could say, oh, well, that's your fault. You should have chose better. Da da da. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We get all that. You know, your mama should have
yeah.
chose better too because you ain't had a daddy. I get that sentiment. You feel me? But yeah, it wasn't a prerequisite because that wasn't like just ingrained in me. It just wasn't. And like you know Alapata, the city,
Ooh.
poking beans, whatever. You see a bunch of single
I, I,
mothers and
that's
they
why.
got boys
Yeah, yeah.
and
It's
they
it.
doing everything by themselves. And so
Yeah,
that's what I mean, a part of the culture.
yeah. It's getting even worse now than when we was growing up.
I can't even imagine.
It's getting. You're not even here.
Right.
There's a personal. You might know this person. There's a personal friend of Roni's whose son had recently got quit, and he was only 12
Mm,
in Attapata.
Yep.
mm,
In Attapata, you know what I mean. And you know the a question was, and he was at his grandmama house with his homeboy with a pistol. They playing around with the
mm.
pistol. The son died, and you know, for a lot of people, you know, 9 out of 10 times they're gonna blame the mama.
You already know it.
You know, they're gonna blame the mama, and they was where his daddy was at. You know what I mean? Not knowing that this is a family member's house they was at. You know what I
Right.
mean? And we know, like I've been on this girl, taking her son fishing. They done
Mm-hmm.
did all types of stuff. So and that's the point that we try to get. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie to you. Your last statement was tough, man. That shit
Which
was
one?
hit. No, when you said that it wasn't a prerequisite. Not a lot of women are going to come out and admit that.
I didn't have the awareness that I have now. You know what I'm
You,
saying? So I ain't even gonna front. You got a lot of these new people nowadays. They got answers for every fucking thing. They got answers for everything, and it's quite annoying. You know, they can always tell you what you should have did and what you could have did. Everybody doesn't have that awareness. Just like when you were speaking on how you refused to get someone pregnant, you know, because you didn't want to have no fatherless kids. You know what I'm saying? You had that awareness and was able to follow through. Everybody don't have that awareness, and it's not about excuses. Some people just have a certain level of wisdom at a young age, and some have to go through certain things to get that. I've always had emotional intelligence, but when it came to matters like that, I didn't necessarily have that awareness. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that it's a culture that we have, and I definitely don't have the answers to how we can fix it because everybody's too busy fighting one another. Because you got somebody saying, no, my cut bigger than yours. And
mm-hmm.
they saying, well, I got cut too. Nah, my shit way bigger than yours. That's what everybody online doing right now, saying that they cut bigger than the next person, you know? And so these same dudes that got all these answers on the internet, I remember one time I went in the chat and Sugar Mom can tell you, oh, they listen, I've been called everything but a child of God in these spaces by these same niggas. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by I don't want them weird people around mine because I don't trust them. Because a
Wow.
lot of people nowadays with the sentiment that they carry
Yeah.
about black women and about black women's children, Nah, I would kill a motherfucker. You hear me? Excuse me, Sky. I apologize, baby. This Mama Bear talking right now. You
Now,
know.
and that's great you say that. So I was wondering, how do you think for now, so people won't have to go to a cryogenic bank, how do you think women in general should approach dating, women with kids or not kids, to be able to successfully get the type of result that they want as far as a husband is concerned?
Esoterically speaking, you have to be open. And that requires self-awareness. That requires a level of internal intrinsic work that nobody can do for you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, men, women, we all have our triggers, right? And it's up to us to figure out what it is that is hindering us from having a relationship that we want. Now, do I feel like it's a lot of things that people say that I don't subscribe to. I don't necessarily feel like everybody is going to find a person. I truly don't. Statistically, even if we look at science, everybody is not going to be married, even some that want to be married.
I agree with you. I agree with
Big
you.
facts.
You
Facts.
know,
I agree with
and
that. Yep.
so they kill me with a lot of this shit that they be talking. At the end of the day, everybody's not going to be married. All I can tell people is, like, just try to stay open and be mindful and aware about whatever it is that is preventing you from achieving whatever it is you want in life. I have things that get in the way of my thinking when it comes to things I want to achieve. Not even just a relationship, just in general, you know. And so now with the dating mindset and the marriage mindset, like that's the thing. And depending on your background, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you got some people that come from a religious background. Listen, I was sleeping, eating, and shit in church for decades, okay? And a lot of people, and I don't typically share this, but you're talking to somebody who used to be in training to be a minister, you know? So when people like to quote scriptures and get all into that, whatever, a lot of churches do not prepare, okay, properly prepare people for marriage because they tell them just get married. It's better to marry than to burn, et cetera, et cetera. And they start quoting all these scriptures, but they don't give people the tools to learn how to interact with other people. When I was younger, because I was in that environment, I didn't necessarily know how to date. So when you come in at dudes with this energy of, I'm trying to get married, that's kind of creepy. If somebody don't know you and you don't even get a chance to build something with them, and you sit there talking about you want to get married, that is effing weird. I'm sorry, you know. And so I get the sentiment, right? We do have to have intention. Okay, I'm meeting this person, I'm connecting with this person to see if we can move further because I want to establish a family. I totally get that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to just go into it without trying to date and stuff, listen, dating people, that doesn't mean screwing people, okay? Dating people and connecting with other people, the opposite sex, will always train you and continue to hone your skills on how to deal with the opposite sex, right? We could sit here and say, oh, we got it all together. I've been doing my work. I'm ready to be in this relationship, et cetera, et cetera. You really know when you in it because that's when you're going to be triggered. That's when all your issues going to boil up, when you have to be in close proximity with another person. And so people just have to be up for the challenge. And like what the guy named, just hear me out, I'll be calling him Campfire. He had a fire outside one day. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's besides the point. He was saying that a lot of people just don't want to deal with one another. And I do think that's another aspect, right? We in a very self-serving, hedonistic type, you know what I'm saying, energy out here in the world now. And so you do have these people that don't want to have these discussions about beliefs and da da da, which is kind of weird to me because I figure y'all should kind of sort that out before y'all, take that dive anyway. But you have people that don't want input on how they raise their children, and they don't want to have to do that work with somebody else. And it's unfortunate because I don't know, it just takes away from the human experience. But I do feel a lot of these women are just yeah, ain't no way in the world to me that there isn't something underlying, you know what I'm saying, under the surface for a woman to just say, "Oh, we just want the sperm." No, it got to be something else. Whether it's they lost their faith in black men, they feel they can't get a black man,
Mm-hmm.
they want to do it by themselves, whatever it is, and that's for them to figure out. So I mean, good luck with them and that sperm, but the most they gonna get, honestly, it's a bunch of Asian sperm out there. They might as well have some Blasians.
This is my last question, and I want you to act. I want you to answer this from a personal point.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that now you older with kids, do you think you felt like you had to lower your standards in dating to be able to get a man?
Um. Uh. Shit, I
It,
didn't have no standards.
I'm done.
I mean, come on, like I mean, if we're gonna be real, like
Damn.
I just wasn't, I just wasn't in that headspace. You know what I'm saying? And so I really enjoyed when I first came to this space. I was seeing young people, in their early 20s and stuff doing their thing, like they got their careers and shit and whatever. And that really made me happy to see that
Mm-hmm.
because I can't tell you what I did with my 20s. You know what I'm saying? But that's my experience and I don't project that. But I was very happy to see young people really plotting out their life, thinking things through. And there were some people in my age group that did that. I just wasn't one of them for whatever reason. But yeah, I didn't have no standards. That's a part of my personal journey. So I ain't speaking on nobody else. That was my journey. I had to learn how to value myself and have standards and be clear about what I want. Many people aren't clear about what they want. Many people not clear about their boundaries. And then if they do got boundaries, many people don't honor those boundaries. I didn't have boundaries because I used to be a passive person. You know what I'm saying? So for me, yeah, it just wasn't like that. And I also have to say, many of these women, hopefully, like Natasha said, they're able to mitigate. You know what I'm saying? The level of
And I
the
said
impact.
migrate.
Yes, you did, honey. You did. But I was rocking with you. I was like, we know what he talking about. We know what he talking about. You be chop suey in some of the words, but listen, I'm
All
gonna
the
let you have it.
time.
I ain't gonna get on that,
You know I'm a Haitian. You know I'm a Haitian. So
right? You saw?
yeah.
But yeah, like she was saying, if they can mitigate, the impact, the level of impact, right, from
Mhm.
not having that balance. And people can get into this argument, oh, a woman could raise a child just fine. Yeah, ain't nobody saying that. Just like we know it's two parents that could have a shitty household and traumatize the kids. Like we know all that. We're just talking about ideals here. Of course,
Mhm.
it is ideal to have two parents. Um, I lost my train of thought, but nevertheless, I do think if that, yeah, mitigate, right? So, I've been a single mother like for this whole ride, right? And so I do feel like I have developed a level of I don't really have the tolerance at this point, right? For somebody coming in and us trying to quote unquote co-parent together because I've done it so long by myself, right? So I don't necessarily feel like that'll work for me. I would, and I'm open to love wherever I find it, right?
Mhm.
But I'm definitely more willing to do it once my little one gets older. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Because I I just ain't got time. You understand what I'm saying? It's tricky out here. But with my oldest, right? I had him in different activities. He has been in the Big Brothers Big Sisters program since 2010, and he's still rocking with his big brother. You know what I'm saying? Is that the perfect substitute? No, I would prefer a present fucking father. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? But I also understood that I'm not a man and I can't teach my child how to be a man, regardless of how aggressive some of you people may think I am in these YouTube streets and how masculine. I'm not a man. So there are certain aspects of being a man that I won't be able to teach him because I'm not a man. I could teach him how to be a responsible citizen. I could teach him how to be respectful. But listen, when he got in middle school and he started going through some changes, you know what I'm saying? How I'm gonna relate to that? I had to call my homeboys, like, hey, my baby said he keep getting hard while he in class and he ain't doing nothing. Listen, the homeboys had to teach him how to pocket it. You know what I'm saying? How to kind of shove it in his pocket to the side. I can't relate to that. So I'm always down for children, especially young boys, being around as much testosterone as possible. When him and his big brother was hanging out, I don't need to be there. Once we had built that trust and stuff, no, y'all go do y'all thing. Y'all don't need to be around. Like, yeah, he around enough estrogen. So anyway, yeah, I think if people have that support system, that's awesome. But if people out here just willy nilly ain't got no damn support system, ain't got no solid male figures that's willing to go for that ride, I just feel like, yeah, I'm just, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't want to do it.
And that's beautiful. And this is why it's so very important to like, share, and subscribe, and make sure you hit that
You
notification
do,
bell on the
yep.
right hand side.
You took the show, baby.
Remember, we do go live each and every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 o'clock Eastern time. Like always, thank you, Jess J, for being here. I ain't gonna lie, that was a beautiful take you
That was
did.
a beautiful
Yes, it
thing.
I ain't
was.
gonna
We
lie, I ain't
appreciate
saying
you
Are
I
so
you
didn't let you
much.
amused?
talk. Like you broke that shit down.
I was rambling a lot, but I appreciate y'all
No,
being
no, no. It
patient
was
with
good
me.
insight. It was
No,
really
no, no,
good
no, no,
insight.
no. It was a beautiful insight.
Really,
You
really
know what
good
I'm saying?
insight.
That
Shout out to
feminine
Ken
touch that
Dog.
we've been needing.
Shout out to
Okay.
Natasha Vincent. Shout out to Black Hawk. Shout out to Sugar Bomb. Shout out to
War.
Jabari. Shout out to Gore. Shout out to Lotus. Shout out to
Woo.
Nightish. Shout out to somebody who in the chat. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
Shout out to Serbian. Shout out to the people that are watching us on Instagram. Shout out to those watching on Facebook. Shout out to Barry White. Shout out to you guys that also watch us on the playback. We really do greatly appreciate you guys 100%.
Lotus.
Yeah, I say Lotus.
Motivated Vision.
Of course, I can't never
Oh
forget
yeah.
Motivated Vision. Shout out to Motivated Vision.
Liberated Soul, Rebel, Observing. What's that? Observing you. What's observing?
Go ahead.
I don't know how to say that
It
girl
is
name.
a servant, I think. He be
Y'all got
disappearing.
Nightish, right? Y'all got Nightish?
Yeah, I got
Y'all say,
Nightish. I
Nightish.
got Black Hawk. Of course, the lovely Natasha Vincent.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
Black Hawk say you send
liberated.
your cash out too, Hakeem.
Huh?
Black Hawk say I sent a cash out. Shout
Oh,
out to
thank
you,
you
man.
for
Really
keeping the
do
lights
greatly
on.
appreciate it. Yeah.
Man, we love all y'all, man.
Yeah, shout out to you guys that's also watching us on Instagram, Facebook, and you already know that's going to watch on the playback. And also, guys, please make sure you go on the KR Culture Radio community tab. In the community tab, there's a KR Culture Radio t-shirt. Join got on, as you can see. And Prince Hakeem, new book, Black Love. Come over here, support the platform because we on our road to 1K subscriber. Of course, the Liberation Show. Shout out to you, big dog. We on our road to 1K subscribers, man. We really do greatly appreciate you guys, man. Thank you for tuning in to KR Culture Radio. Enjoy your guys' weekend.